It's puck time, Tuesday, and we only have one NHL expert with me, except I'm an NHL expert too. So we're good. We're good to go. Alex B. Smith is traveling today, and Andrew McGinnis just could not get his mic working right. But that doesn't matter. We've got Carmine Bianco with us. And Carm, you're on a 13-0 NHL run in the plays you've released to your customers. 13-0 last night. You were on Columbus. A squeaker, a nail biter, but you pulled it out.
It doesn't matter how they get there as long as they get there. Yeah, this is the way I look at it. But yeah, you know what? Vegas had Subban in net. I expected him to start. Like Fleury had gone, I think, 13 in a row. But and Subban was winless this year, 0-4 in 5 games. But listen, he kept them in the game yesterday. At the end of the second, it was 15-2 with as far as legitimate scoring chances, and he absolutely kept Vegas in the game. But Columbus just didn't stop, and they outskated the Golden Knights. They were more physical. Torts wanted this team to be more physical. He juggled the top 3 lines. And they played a great game. They were always one step ahead. I'm glad they got the win.
Listen, let's give out a promo for you, my friend. And then what we're going to do is we're each going to give out 2 games. And then we're going to do the last minute of play, where we will run down the board from top to bottom. But let's start with Anaheim and the New York Rangers, Carm. Anaheim's the hottest team in the league right now. They're on the road. They're facing the New York Rangers, who are 1 game over 500. The line is minus 125. The over and under 5.5. What do you think about this game?
I know. We discussed last night. A few games, and we talked about Anaheim. They're coming in having won 9 of 10 on the heels of last night's 4-2 win in Pittsburgh. They fell behind early, 2-0, came back. They're playing really well, but they haven't fared well at Madison Square Gardens. They've lost 3. We won't see the King in net tonight. It's Georgiev in nets for the Rangers. But, let's look at the Rangers. The Rangers have lost 3 straight at home, all by identical 4-3 overtime games. But, they picked up points in 11 of 12 at home. They've only lost 1 game in regulation, which was the last week of November to the Capitals, 5-3. They're playing really well. They're sitting 12th in the East, which isn't very good, but they've got the 4th best home record in the East. And I think they catch, even though you might not want it to get in the way of the Ducks having won 9 of 10. I just think laying a small number at home against a team who's on the tail end of a back-to-back, much like Vegas was last night, I think it's an ideal spot to take the Rangers. I was close to putting this up on the website as a play, but I actually would have preferred the King in net for the Rangers. So I'm still going to lay the 124 as a lean here with the Rangers.
He's Carmine Bianco. I'm the Prez. You're watching Puck Time. Tomorrow's show will be Alex B. Smith and Dave Koken. And guys, Carm is on a 13-0 run right now. You can get a week of his plays at WagerTalk.com for only $39. That's a full week of all his plays at WagerTalk.com for only $39. Use the promo code PuckTime. That's one word. Carm, the Leafs are playing the Devils. The Devils are a home dog at around minus 132. The Leafs have lost their last 2 games in a row, 4 of their last 5. They're on the tail end of a 5-game East Coast road swing. They're playing the Devils, who are also in a tailspin. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games and 8 of their last 10. The over and under in this game is really what I like. It's 6.5 is the total. And although the Leafs are scoring a lot of points, one of the highest scoring teams in the league, I think we've seen them play bad defense of late. They let in 4 against Florida, 4 against Tampa Bay, 6 against Boston, 5 against Detroit, and on and on and on. One thing we know as Toronto, people who live in Toronto, read the media, listen to Mike Babcock, when this team starts playing bad defense, Mike Babcock puts his foot down. And I think we're going to actually see that tonight. New Jersey has scored of late, but they're not a high-scoring hockey team. They play solid defense. And 6.5 is a big number. I think this game is going to go under the total of 6.5. I think we're going to see a slow hockey game to some degree, as slow a hockey game as you can get for a team like the Leafs with the speed they have. But the only way New Jersey can win this game at home is if they keep this game under the total. And I think both teams are really going to focus in on defense. I like under the total of 6.5 points. Carm, and
I've got to agree there. Listen, the devil. This is how the Devils win games. I understand the Leafs defense hasn't been great, but I'm not ready to sort of pour gas on the fire there. I think the Leafs will be better long run or long term. So I don't think there's a lot to worry about. These two. If you look at tonight's number 6.5, I think it's the last 7 games in Tampa. If you were using this number, the total would have gone under 6 of the last 7. Tampa's also won 6 of those 7 games. The only game they lost was last January, and that was a 4-2 Leafs win. But you look at some of the score lines, and they're just like 2-1, 4-1, 2-1, 3-2. So yeah, I think when you're losing and when you're allowing a lot of goals, you're like you said, Babs goes into that dressing room, and he just literally gives it to the team, and they come out with a good defensive effort. I don't have a play on this game either way, but if I was going to take anything, I would lean to the total here and look for something like a 3-1, 3-2 final.
I agree, brother. And when you were saying Tampa Bay, you meant New Jersey. But
New Jersey, yes.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, they're on the road in Vancouver. Look, Vancouver is a big dog here, and I think they might be very live at plus 155. The over and under is 6.5, which I think is a little high. I know Tampa Bay can score, but what else Tampa Bay can do is play really good defense. They have one of the best goalies in all of hockey. They're playing a great system. Vancouver is not a scoring juggernaut by any stretch, although they have been putting up some points of late. Vancouver's playing really good hockey here, Carm. 5 of the last 6 they've won. And I think they might get a Tampa Bay team who's a little bit tired, especially after their game against Winnipeg, 5-4 shootout loss, overtime loss. I like under the total in this game, and I would be happy to take the dog. What do you think?
I think at writing the Lightning were minus 176, Vancouver plus 159, 6.5 on the total. As you mentioned, the Canucks have won like 5 of 6, and that's like on the heels of like a terrible run. They went like 1-10-2. They were just terrible. These teams met earlier this year, back in October, back in Tampa, and the Canucks scored 4 in the last 9 minutes of that game. That's not lost on the Lightning, trust me. They know that was a tough game in Winnipeg. It was a fun one to watch. I had not up on the site, but I had a total on that game, and obviously I took the over there. I just figured these teams were going to light it up, and it was a 5-4 final in OT. But 42 shots on net Tampa allowed. They usually don't do that. Vasilevsky's back in net. They're playing well. But, just a couple stats. When you're looking at the Lightning, they're, having lost on Sunday, they're 7-1 this year off the loss, 4-0 on the road. So they haven't lost back-to-back games. I think they've only done it once this year. They're sitting atop the league. But I just can't lay $1.76 here. If anything, I actually think I believe Tampa will win tonight. I think it's one of those few times where you can lay the puck line here and take the plus 147 you're getting with Tampa Bay. I think it's down to like 144 now. But I understand Vancouver's playing well, but this Tampa team is just a juggernaut. They're going to continue to win. I think they win the President's Trophy this year. I think they're the best team in the league right now. I understand you're a Leafs fan.
No, look, I agree with you, Carm.
Just a great team. They can throw three lines at you over and over again, and then their fourth line is a really good checking line. It's, if a team is going to stop a run like Vancouver has of winning 5 or 6, it's going to be a team like Tampa Bay.
No, I agree with you on Tampa Bay. I think they're the best team in the league. And the thing is, I think they're the most complete team in the league. I think they play great defense. They have an outstanding goalie. Stamkos is ridiculous. The team can score. They're very well coached. So, I think the Leafs are going to have a hard time with them come playoffs. But I do agree with you. I think they're the best team in hockey right now. The next game I'm going to talk about is Calgary on the road against Dallas. Dallas is a short dog at home. The game is almost a pick'em. And look, Dallas is not playing the best hockey. They've lost their last 4 games, but all of them were on the road, and now they're finally at home. Calgary, like Anaheim, one of the hottest teams in hockey. They've won their last 3. They've won 8 of their last 9. The team is looking really, really good. But this is their 3rd game on the road, and I think we're going to see a more tired Calgary. What I'm looking at here, Carm, is over the total of 6. Calgary can score, man. They put 7 up against St. Louis, who's not a terrible defensive team. They put 6 up against Philadelphia. Man, they even put 9 up against Columbus, and we saw Columbus last night shut a very fast Vegas Knights team down. And conversely, when you look at Dallas, Dallas played Colorado last game, and it was a 4-6 game. Dallas's defense is not doing well right now, and they can score, especially on the power play. I think this is going to be a bit of a shootout tonight, and I like over the total of 6 goals in this game.
Yeah, it's listen. Last year, the Flames went through spurts on the road where they went into places like Minnesota, Nashville. You didn't expect them to win, but they did it with defense. This year, they're clicking. They're clicking offensively. They're scoring goals, and this is why they're doing as well as they do. Like the line makers have this line about as perfect as you can get. You can't make Dallas a big dog at home, despite how Calgary is playing, and they've got it right. I think they're sort of begging for Flames money tonight, so I'm kind of staying away from this game because Dallas is a good home team. They've won like 4 straight at home, and you're talking about wins over a decent Edmonton team that's playing better under Hitchcock, and a Sharks team that has been lighting it up as well too, and they kept the Sharks to 2 and Edmonton to 1. Now I know McDavid didn't play that game, but I'm staying away from the game, but I agree with you on the total here, definitely.
Okay, guys, it's time for the last minute of play. Remember to head over to WagerTalk.com and buy a week of Carmine Bianco's hockey plays, $39. Use the promo code PuckTime, WagerTalk.com. Carm will each take a game. We'll start with Buffalo and Florida. Buffalo 20-9 on the season, unbelievable. Florida with a great win against the Leafs in their last game. Buffalo minus 129. The over and under is 6. Give me your quick opinion.
Yeah, quick opinion. Yeah, you know what? I'm waiting for the Sabres to fall apart. It just hasn't happened yet. Eichel and Skinner are just putting up points like crazy. Hutton in net, he's doing fantastic. Sabres are laying 126 here. I'll take the Sabres.
Philadelphia hosting Detroit minus 175 for Philly. They got a new coach. It's their first game with that coach, and I like Philadelphia in the first period. You get a super short number here. I think we're going to see them flying in the first period. I'm going to lean on the Flyers in period 1. Minnesota at minus 120 against San Jose. San Jose, they had a rough patch a couple of weeks ago, but they've started playing much better. Minnesota is minus 120. They're a short home favorite. What do you think?
I'm actually going to go total here. In a game where last year this would have been lined at 5.5, it's now 6 in this new NHL up and down the ice, but I actually like the total here in the over.
He's Carmine the Prez. Let's move on to the next game. Chicago plus 135 against Nashville. Nashville is one of the best teams in hockey. Very, very well-rounded team, just like Tampa Bay. Chicago's a mess. I like under the total of 6 goals in this game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think it's pretty much the only type of game that would allow Chicago to win. We already spoke about Calgary and Dallas. Carm, Edmonton at minus 156. The over and under is 6. They're playing the Blues, who better start playing better hockey. Is tonight the night?
I'm not really sure tonight. Tonight's the night. Edmonton won in St. Louis. This was with McDavid coming back to the lineup. They fell behind 2-0, won it in overtime 3-2 in St. Louis. I think another low-scoring game here. Total's at 6 right now, and I like the under.
Arizona playing the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders on a back-to-back tonight. That's a very important factor here. I play a lot of hockey, and I'll tell you, their legs are going to be tired. Arizona minus 130. The over and under is 5.5. I like the Coyotes in this spot, Carm. I think it's a short number. They're at home, and they're not terrible. They're 2 games under 500. I'm going to take Arizona in this game. And the last game on the board is the LA Kings versus Winnipeg. LA is plus 140. They might be the worst team in all of hockey. They're playing one of the best and most complete teams in hockey in Winnipeg. I think the total is high at 6 when you're looking at a Jonathan Quick-led LA Kings game. There's no way I would take the Kings in this game. Where are you going?
Yeah, it's sort of a reoccurring theme for me today on totals and unders, but it's the same thing. I don't think the Kings are a very good team. I think the only way for them to actually win this game is literally to try and lock down the Jets. And that might be hard to do here. I think the total here, and the Jets obviously coming off that big win over Tampa, but I see a low scoring game here. The total's at 6. If it was at 6.5, this would have been up on the site as an under 100%. But at 6, it's a personal play, and I'm taking it on the under.
He's Carm. I'm the Prez. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow's Puck Time will have Alex B. Smith back from his travels and the legend himself, Dave Koken, who offhand is on a 14-3 NHL run. So between Dave and Carm, it's free money at WagerTalk.com. Guys, get down on Carm's hockey, man. $39 for 7 days of his plays. I don't know how you can miss out. He's won 13 plays in a row. Carm, thanks for joining us. Sorry about Andrew not being on. He was having mic issues. Guys, I've got Dave Koken on Morning Joe and the Pro. And I also am doing my NFL presidential address with Kelly. And we do have a surprise guest at the end of the NFL presidential address. Carm, be well, my friend, and we will speak in the next few days. I'm not doing any shows next week, but given that you're a friend of mine and live down the road, I'll Happy New Year you later.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
Take it easy. Good luck.